Hey everyone, my name is Carla Jenkins. I am a project management professional, certified Scrum Master, and ITIL professional with over 10 years project management and ITIL service management experience. In this video, I'll be discussing the 7 R's of change management as it pertains to ITIL, which is IT Infrastructure Library. So the 7 changes are: who raised the change? And the reason why you want to know that is because is it the sponsor, a customer, or an internal division or department that is raising the change to your product or your service? The second R is, what is the reason for the change? And so the reason for any change has to bring the company and or customer value when creating the new product or service. Because when you're dealing with IT service management and ITIL, it's all about service. It's all about value. And so just think, whenever there's change, it has to bring a positive value to the product or the service. The third R is, what is the return required from the change? So in return, there has to be a business return or a return on investment for making this change, and that has to be considered. The fourth R is, what are the risks involved in the change? So when you look at risk, most of the time people look at risk in the negative, but I would like to add under this R the positive risk. So for you, map out the positive risks, opportunities, and the negative risk, threats for each change. You can also do an impact analysis. That's something I do to evaluate how the change will impact the other corresponding products and services, customers, and the company. You can't put change in isolation. So you can't just isolate a change and think that change is static. Whatever you're reviewing a change, you have to view change as dynamic. So say, for instance, you're a company and you're bringing out a new cell phone or a computer. You have to look at it as how it will change everything that's around it. So say your new cell phone is say you currently have a Series 5 out there and you want to bring a Series 6. So when you bring a Series 6, say the Series 6 is larger. Well, that cell phone being larger affects not just the cell phone, but all the accessories. Think about it. You just don't buy a cell phone, you buy a cell phone holder, or you buy one of those things that you put on you when you walk down the street. Say, for instance, it has like some type of health monitor, it measures you, one of those like Fitbit components that's also inside of the cell phone. Well, you have to get a new one of those because it's bigger, and so it affects everything. So your change, just that cell phone change, will affect not just the phone, the accessories with the phone. You may need one of those new carry-ons that you take with the phone. So just don't view change in isolation. And that's why you also don't view risk in isolation either. So I had to get very long and drawn out on that one, which is the fourth R. But most of the time people overlook positive risks such as opportunity. But you know, a change could bring about an opportunity or a new product or a new value or new service opportunity. So you have to look forward to that also in ITIL. And let's see. The next one is what resources are required to deliver the change. And one of the questions are, do you already have the resources for the change? So what if you don't have all the resources in-house and you have to pay money from the external sources? So, you know, a third-party vendor, an affiliate, you know, that costs money. So can you deliver or do the change in-house? Because if you have to go out house and you have to go to a third-party vendor, that's time, that's money, that's possibly another contract. That's another R that you have to review. So that's the 5th R. The 6th R is who is responsible for the build, test, and implementation of the change. So in ITIL, you have RACI, also in project management. And RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consult, and inform. Somebody always has to be responsible for ensuring that the change is built, tested, and implemented correctly. That's extremely essential because, as I mentioned, change doesn't happen in a vacuum. It affects everything else. It's not static, it's dynamic. And then the 7th one I've already gone over with the risk involved in the change is what's the relationship between the change and other changes. Like I mentioned, I'll go over the cell phone. For instance, you're a cell phone company, your communication company, you have your 5 out there, the new 6 cell phone is larger. That change affects the accessory changes that you have to buy because the 6 won't fit in the same compartment as the 5. So that means that you have to create other larger accessories. You have to do more products. So you have to look at the relationship. Never view change as being static or isolated, and that one change wouldn't affect the other product line, the other divisions. So you say you're working in the cell phone division, you obviously have an accessories division. That large change affects the accessory change. So the change isn't just on the customer side, it can be internal because the other divisions that are complementary to you, they could be affected by the change too. So once again, these are the 7 R's of change management. I'll review and do a recap. They are who raised the change, what's the return required for the change, what are the risks involved in the change, what resources are required to deliver the change, who's responsible for the build, test, and implementation for the change, and what are the relationship for this change and its impact on the other changes. So these are the 7 R's for change management as it pertains to ITIL. My name is Carla R. Jenkins. I am a certified project manager, scrum master, and ITIL professional with over 10 years of project management and IT service management. For more information on how I can help you and your company, contact me at carlarjenkins.com and info@carlarjenkins.com. Thank you.